Hi, boys and girls. Miss Lori here, and we are ready.
It's me, Chip.
And Chip. Hi, Chip.
Hi,
Chip,
Miss
so
Lori.
glad to see you and Father Mike.
Hi there, Miss Lori.
Hi. We are getting ready to do a children's chapel lesson about some of the disciples. And we're going to be studying the disciples all through Lent. Did you know that, Chip?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Are you excited, Chip?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get started then. Do you know what the word disciple means?
I don't think I know that word.
I don't think you know that word. Well, it means people who spread the word of Jesus and help spread the gospels throughout the world.
Whoa.
It's kind of like being a student of Jesus. What do you think, Father?
Oh, yeah. I understand that, being a student under a teacher.
That's right. So the disciples followed Jesus and they helped teach other people about Jesus.
Oh.
And if you're one disciple, that means you were one of the 12 of Jesus's close friends. And that was according to some of the gospels. Real quick. Do you know what the 4 gospels were?
I think I learned one time.
Do you? Let's see if you can remember.
Let's try.
Matthew,
Mark,
Luke,
and John.
Yeah.
That's
right.
The 4 main gospels. So I'm going to tell a story real quick. Luke wrote about how one night Jesus had been praying to God. And when he woke up the next morning, he thought, I need to call my disciples to him. And he said, I'm going to pick 12 people to be my main disciples. And so these were the guys that followed Jesus around, and they were the major leaders who helped form Christianity.
Whoa, they sound important.
They are very important. And today we're going to talk about 3 of them, okay? Because if we talked about all 12 of them, Chip, that might take a long time.
Whoa, I might get bored.
Yeah, I might get bored too. So let's just talk about 3 of them. Let's talk about Andrew, James, and John. Because you know what? All 3 of them were fishermen.
Oh, I like to fish for bananas.
Yes. Well, normally you fish for fish, but I guess as a chimpanzee, fishing for bananas, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, these 3 guys, they were fishermen. They weren't the kind of people that will be looking for Jesus, but Jesus saw something in them, and he decided that he wanted to ask them to follow him. So let's start off talking about James, okay?
Okay.
So James, he had a brother, John, and he was a member of, like I said, Jesus's 12 disciples. And he proclaimed, that means he talked about the gospel after Jesus's resurrection. And he was the first apostle to be martyred for his faith. That's kind of I know, Father.
You know what that means, Chip? I don't think I know that word.
Oh, well, that means that sometimes people are really, really mean, even to students or disciples.
Really?
Yeah, and those were the people that they were really, really mean to.
Oh, that's sad.
That is kind of sad. James, he talked about Jesus, and he was a good disciple. And so then I just mentioned he had a brother named John. And
John.
Yeah, John's the second person we're going to talk about. And he was a beloved friend of Jesus. And he wrote 5 of the books in the New Testament.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. And he served in Jerusalem, and he was supposedly the disciple who lived the longest.
Whoa. Like a grandma or grandpa?
Like a grandma and grandpa. To be really old. Well, when Jesus called those brothers, James and John, they were fishermen, and they were fishing with their father Zebedee on the Sea of Galilee.
That's a funny name, Zebedee.
It is a funny name, Chip. Well, they were fishing, and Jesus came and said, come follow me. And you know what they did? They immediately left their father, and they left that fishing business, and they followed Jesus. How about that?
I'm speechless.
You're speechless. Well, how wonderful that they realized that that's what they needed to do. And so they did. Well, you know what? Even though they were following Jesus, sometimes we make mistakes. And they were in a village called Samaritan. a Samaritan village. And the Samaritans were rejecting Jesus. And so John, he said, James, you know what we need to do? We need to call down fire from heaven. That sounds
That's not nice.
No, that's not nice. And so they earned a nickname. Do you know anybody that has a nickname? Like some people have nicknames.
Yeah, I know some people.
Uh-huh. Well, they got the nickname and they were called Sons of Thunder.
That means they're loud.
They are loud. But that's okay. So they had this kind of funny nickname. And but they still continue to follow Jesus, and they still continue to teach people. They still continue to be fishers of people instead of fishermen of fish.
Hey, that kind of sounds funny. Fish for people.
That's right, fish for people. Okay, so we've talked about James and John, who are brothers, and the third disciple we're going to talk about is Andrew. And Andrew, guess what he was?
A fisherman?
That's right. He was a fisherman. Do you?
It's a theme.
It's a theme. You're so right. We are talking about the disciples who were fishermen and who, according to the Gospel of John, Andrew was the first disciple that Jesus called in. So we have Andrew, James, and John, who were all fishermen who began to follow Jesus to become fishers of people.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool. So I think it's kind of neat how Jesus, he called fishermen to leave from catching fish to becoming fishers of people. Have you ever been fishing other than for bananas?
Only bananas. I'm not a carnivore.
Oh, no. He sometimes uses big words that I just don't.
But I bet all the kids know, because they know about dinosaurs and the different kinds of dinosaurs that were carnivores or herbivores or omnivores.
Yeah.
I just like to eat leaves and bananas and fruit.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about being fishermen and how fishing can be a fun, quiet, and relaxing hobby. And it's a great way to go outdoors. But instead of being a fisherman for fish, we're going to be a fisherman of men. And like any good fisherman, we have to have good bait. Do you know what bait is? It's kind of like what you put on the end of your hook, like a worm.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it.
I'm not sure what kind of banana bait you would use, but
I don't know. I just put a banana leaf on a banana hook for a banana catch.
That works. Well, these guys, they realized that the best way or the best bait they could use is the love of God. And when we love others the way Jesus loves us, like if we're nice to other people and we show people that we love them because Jesus loves us, then that draws people to Jesus.
God's love is a good thing.
Love is a good thing.
Yeah.
And so nothing draws people closer to Jesus than them seeing real love in action. So I think that we should all ask God to help us be fisher of men. And that doesn't mean just men. It means men, women, children, even animals, right?
Could it even be a chimpanzee like me?
It could be a chimpanzee like you.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we can show people love. So we just need to ask God to help us share his love for others. So I think it would be great if during Lent, we all try to become disciples of Jesus.
Yeah, we can share God's love, Miss Lori. Can't we?
Yes, we can.
Good. We can.
Yeah, Father Mike agrees. We should all do that. Well, he talked about in the announcements today how everybody hopefully received their box from the YMAC committee. Thomas and Kyle got theirs. And inside of it, it has a picture of the Last Supper, which we're going to learn about at the end of Lent, or close to the end of Lent. And inside of it also, it has some wooden people, which are your disciples.
I got that box too.
Did you get your box?
Yeah, I did.
So do you know what craft you're supposed to do this week now that you've heard about Andrew, James, and John?
No, Father Mike didn't tell me. He said Miss Lori would tell me.
Well, what you can do is you can paint them and they can each be a disciple. And I think, do you have an idea?
Father Mike, could we write their name on the bottom of their pedestal like they did for Woody in Toy Story?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. What do you think?
So we'd write James, John, and Andrew on the bottom of their pedestal.
Yeah, that way we would know their names for the rest of their life.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I
We could do
love that idea.
Yeah.
Well, boys and girls, get with your parents or your guardian or whomever and make sure that they help you, whether you use crayons or markers or paint, but make sure that you're in a good, clean environment while you paint, okay? And stay tuned for the next lesson when we'll learn about 3 more disciples. But it was fun, Chip, learning about.
Thanks for letting me come, Miss Lori.
You're welcome. Father Mike, we're so glad that
Thanks for letting me come too, Miss Lori.
Absolutely. Well, everybody have a good week. Bye, Chip. Bye,
Hi,
Father
kids.
Mike.
Bye.